City Jazz Sessions is about great music, arts, and entertainment. We are located in St. Louis, Missouri, and available to performance art lovers worldwide. Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. You can email us at cityjazzsessions@gmail.com.
Yeah, all right. Here we are with another great City Jazz Sessions. Um, we want to thank our producer, Warren Harper, for putting these on. We want to thank our technical person, Leon Davis. My co-host, Laker Hewitt, is not here this evening. She's out enjoying life. And we enjoying life right here too. But this is going to be a special show because I have my dear brother here. We go back so far. It's like I forgot when our toes got unlatched. This is the great masterful bassist, wonderful musician, wonderful human being, and one of my closest friends in the world, Darrell Mixon. Yay! Yeah, buddy. What's up,
What's
man?
up, Ron? It's all good, my friend.
I know it is, man. You looking great, man. You looking like
Trying to, my brother.
you actually looking like younger. What happened?
It's the hair, man. That's all. It's the
It's the
hair. That's
hair.
all. Yeah, because look at this here. See? Huh?
I thought it was Linda keeping you cool.
Oh, yeah. That
Yeah, you
too.
better put it in.
Yeah, but life has been good, man. I mean,
Yeah,
it's life, and it's still a thrill ride.
absolutely. It'll always be, man. And it doesn't make sense to complain because it goes too fast, brother. You just make the
Yeah,
best
it
of it
does.
and keep stepping, right?
That's right. That's right.
So for those who do not know, Daryl is one of the mainstays in St. Louis. You can hear him pretty much 7 days a week somewhere with somebody. But he comes from royalty. His father was the great John Mixon. We called him Pops.
That's right.
Uh, and Pops played with Grant Green and Miles and everybody else who came through town and did a little traveling on his own. But Daryl and I have probably, I think, I must have been in grade school when we first met each other. I don't think we really started to playing together until it was later my junior high days, right before high school.
Uh-huh.
But that goes pretty far back. That goes to like 74.
Yeah. Yep. Wow.
So if you think
Wow.
about it, it's like, oh yeah.
Man, think about that, man. It's approaching 50 years, you know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's a beautiful thing, Barrage. To have somebody that you've known for that long, had a
Yeah.
chance to play with in a lot of different atmospheres, both here, abroad, and inside this
Yeah.
country. Man.
Yeah.
It's beautiful to have that as your past. A
Absolutely.
friend that deep, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Now Daryl and I were collaborators, co-originators, uh, co-composers, co-leaders of the band NCP, which was no commercial potential.
And can you dig it?
that band, that band took the world by storm. So I'm gonna let Daryl tell you a little bit about some of the things we did and the music that we played and the just the spirit that we brought forth with each other and some
well,
of our
see,
influences. So Daryl,
well, see, my main thing with that band, Ronnie, and this is may or may not be something I've said to you before, but the chemistry that we had as the four cats that we were was what really made that band because everybody had their own personal style, but
mm-hmm,
everybody also had that camaraderie vibe that We
Mm-hmm.
put together our thoughts, our energies, the things we were listening to that we dug at the time. And
Mm-hmm.
that was the thing that was most impressive to me about our band, brother. Not to
Mm-hmm.
mention the fact that we had the hellified players,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
you know,
So
cats who
so
could do that stuff that we got into doing.
right, right, right. So I know our influences a lot. Where RTF, Return to Forever,
Yeah.
um, Weather Report,
Hmm.
um, and yes, at that time, to be able to have just the interest to be able to emulate those cats and execute it, and then execute it to the point that we were not really emulating or imitating them. We were bringing our own thing to the table. Is
Exactly.
uh is first of all pretty profound at the time. We were pretty young, but our knowledge of the music, because of our background, because of your father and the people that your father turned you on to play with, and the people that we grew up seeing playing in St. Louis,
Mm-hmm.
that was what did it for us, because we had to always rise above, you know.
Firm
There's
roots, my brother.
Yeah, that's right. Firm roots. We had so many great players that were always smacking us on the back of the head, making sure we were playing right and in
Yeah.
time, and doing our homework. That music came easy to us. Actually,
Right.
I don't even remember us having too many challenges. We
No.
say, "Hey man, check out this tune. Let's put on this tune," and we do it.
Well, see,
Yeah.
two
Go ahead.
things in that vibe that you're talking about, B. The two people, my dad teaching me to be able to listen whilst
Mm-hmm.
playing, man, and Willie Aikens.
Mm-hmm.
Willie, when I first got with him, I was a teenager, man, and I knew what I was doing, but
Mm-hmm.
I, and
Mm-hmm.
he made sure in a forceful yet velveted glove kind of approach to let me know, yeah, you can play, but you still got a lot to learn.
Oh yeah, always. They always told you that you ain't nowhere near what you think you are.
Man, I used to hate it. I'd ask my old man
I
after a
know.
gig. Oh, I'd ask my old man after a gig, how did I sound, Mix? And he would, "Yeah, you coming?"
Yeah, right. Real
And turn
nonchalant.
away. And turn
Yeah,
away. Walk away. You coming? You getting
yeah,
there?
yeah, yeah. Real nonchalant, right? Didn't give you no doubt for nothing. My uncles used to do the same thing like that. Oh, yeah, you sound all right.
Yeah, man.
You know,
You know,
now dig it. The other thing that prepared us for NCP was our time together with Third Circuit and Spirit.
true that.
You
True
remember?
that. Yes, I
Because
do.
we were exposed to the other side of the music,
Yes.
and the community aspect of the music through
Uh-huh.
J.D. Perrin, Floyd LaFleur, you know,
Yeah, man.
Papa
Yeah, man.
Glenn Wright, all of those cats, man, because they also were teaching, because we chose more of the, I say, progressive fusion for where we
Uh-huh.
were going. But with
Uh-huh.
those cats, we were playing straight ahead, we were playing free, we were playing avant-garde, we were
Exactly.
playing music from the spirit.
Right.
So we had already had that uh thing happening. What's important, and what I love about us and musicians from St. Louis, is that it's such a melting pot, and there's so many different crossroads of the music,
Hmm.
from
Hmm.
cats who, especially back then, you know,
Right. Right.
I mean, honestly, I got to be honest with you. I don't know what's happening now, because it's a whole new breed of cats that did not get that type of footing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because
Yeah, I hear you.
the cats are gone now. They didn't understand what bag was. They didn't understand that, hey man, we could go to a library or a community center and see Shirley LaFleur, playing with your dad, or playing with just a duet with Papa Glenn Wright or something, or
Exactly.
there was so much more just music happening from the grassroots up.
Sorry about that.
You
I'm
know,
back with
no, you good, man. But we
you.
had that, because I remember we did extensive work with them even before we found ourselves, because NCP spurred off of that band I was with Mark and David Boonshoff and the alto player Vincent. Um,
Rainbow
Rainbow,
Glass.
not Rainbow Glass. That was one of my creations. After they were called Expression Jazz Quintet. Remember?
Right.
Right. So because I had started, I was playing with Frederick in that band.
Mm-hmm.
And there was actually some great bass players because they came through, because it was actually, you talked about Eric Foreman. Eric subbed some gigs with that
Uh-huh.
band, so I
Mm-hmm.
was connected with him. And then David Boonshoff, and then there was another lanky bass player, white boy Steve. I can't remember his name, but he used to kill it too, man. Um, and then we kind of morphed away, Mark and I, because he's like, man, I really want to get Darrell Mixon, you and Darrell Mixon together. And I was like, me too.
Boy, that was a wonderful interpretation of his voice, by the way.
Hey, you know I love you, man. You know.
I could see it. Oh, yeah.
Man.
But yeah,
Now,
I hear you, man. I hear you.
yeah, man. And in that middle of that mix, when we were starting, you were also touring already with Lake.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about your experience with Oliver Lake, what you learned, some of the places you went.
Well, man, playing with Lake was an extraordinary thing, because like that vibe of the poetry thing that I had been able to establish by playing with Shirley and Michael Castro and all of those folks in that
Michael, yeah.
vibe, you dig? It was Lake is a genius. He took all of that, put it inside of a funk reggae package,
Mm-hmm.
and set it forth with soul back on a lot of stuff too.
Right. Okay, yeah.
You know, and it was wonderful playing with somebody doing conceptual music, but yet and still was accessible to the public with
A
the
broader
kind of
audience. Right.
right, any kind
Right.
of audience, because like the
Right.
kind of stuff we were doing, the way we were playing it, and just the fact of touring all over Europe, man. I mean,
Right.
first
Yeah.
time when I went with Joe, we were basically Joe Bowie, by the way. We were
Yeah.
in basically Italy most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
You remember a cat, man, the promoter Ezio Saba.
Of course. Yeah.
Ezio had us during
Yeah.
that time. You did. He and
Yeah.
George Copins.
Yeah. Yeah.
You dig?
Absolutely.
But getting back to what I was saying about when you asked me about Jump Up, man.
Now, Jump Up was Lake's band.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And it was, it was just a fantastic thing playing with these kind of musicians. Meet new folks, cats that were not from this area, that I had to meld my little my little St. Louis vibe into with them, because they
Right.
were East Coast cats. Jerome, Brandon, even Loff, man. I mean, he was from
Oh
Detroit.
yeah. Yeah.
You dig? St. Louis cats roll a little differently than most cats, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Oh yeah.
So they had to get used to my weird sense of humor, you know,
Yeah.
which you
Yeah,
admit,
brother.
which is the one thing that Lake used to really just scream about, man, because I have this unique way of talking, when I know you well, you
Right.
dig. But we'll get into that as things go on.
Sure. I remember you and I, man, I don't even think I had my license by the time we were gigging. You had yours.
Hmm.
You about 100 years older than me right now.
Yeah, man.
Get out of
102.
here. But we
100.
we we used to always end up in White Castle. And
Oh, my man, who didn't? Come on
that was
now.
that was after the hit Grub, man.
And
But
that was
man,
very
I
important
remember
to
the
the
scat.
vibes.
Don't you remember the language we created with scat?
Oh,
Just talking about stuff, and we end up scatting about stuff, and we understood what we were saying.
man, you even came up with a tune. Zippo McFlurtlurtle.
That's right.
Now you know how silly that sounds now, but how much fun we had with it then.
Oh man,
But you remember the tune?
no.
No, the tune was thick. Yeah, it was.
Well, I remember, man. I remember, man. And see, what I'm kind of upset about is back then I thought that everything would be up here, right? Even though
Mhm.
I was writing charts back then too, because you remember I wrote a tune called Uncle Buddy that we did.
We look, man. If you say
It
we
was
did
for
it,
my
we did
Uncle Buddy. I know it was a long time ago, but I wrote that tune.
it.
And then I wrote this tune that we did on the show before George Duke. It was
Oh, we gotta talk a
about
little bit
winter
about that.
love. I can't remember the name of that tune, but it was bad too. And I don't
Now,
know what none of that stuff is, man.
if you want to talk about me and you, man, after all that we had on our building process of learning each other and then working with each other and then putting that work ethic together for having NCP, the culmination of that band, when we played with George Duke, I like to hearken to the last time the four-piece Return to Forever came through in 1976.
Uh-huh.
You dig? As far as like us as a band, man, that was something that I don't know if we played another concert the next week, we could have equaled up what we did and all of the circumstances that were around it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the fact that nobody wanted us to get off the stage and it was George Duke's gig.
That's a pretty nice compliment, is it not?
The ultimate. I know somebody must have a recording of that somewhere.
I
One
from your
day,
mouth to God's ear.
whoever's out here in the world, if you was attached with George Duke or anybody, if you have it on anything, please let us know.
Really?
Please, because I mean, that thing was it was life-changing experience.
Yeah, it
For
was.
me, yeah, for me, it confirmed the fact for me that I had to leave St. Louis
Mm,
because of the connections I made also with Ndugu that night and Sheila E. But
dig it.
man, the thing is that you and I will never ever be disconnected. We always been connected because now we're also part of the Blue tribute band.
Right.
I have you coming up, working with me, you reuniting me, you and Richie Daniels with for the South Arts Grant Festival that I'm doing a concert at the Kransberg. Music at the Intersection Festival. We'll be doing that September 11th. So
Cool.
we always keep something on the horizon that keeps us together, and the beauty of it is that we continue to grow with our music and our spirit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I want you to talk a little bit about, because I know we both did the circuit that your father kind of created for us.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know I played with a lot with May Wheeler. I played a
Mm-hmm.
lot with Ben Jones. I played a lot with the great Freddie Washington, saxophonist, and Ironhead. And I know you played with all of those people too, as well as
Yeah.
Willie Aikens. So, I want you to talk a little bit about the difference in between them
Okay.
and
Um,
some of the other people that you played with in St. Louis.
well, dig, let me start off this way, B, by saying like the first cat that ever took a chance on me was Ed Nicholson.
Oh,
You dig? First cat that ever took a chance on me, and it's gonna probably weird out some folks, but I was 13 at the time,
hmm
13 years old. We were doing a gig out at Three Flags in St. Charles. I
well,
think it's on the same land as the Family Arena is, like that
hmm
right now. In any case, he was the first cat to take a chance on me, man. And I swam right through because of the fact that the old man always had me listening for something. You
Right,
dig?
right.
Mostly standards. He said, I mean, he drove them down my throat. First tune
Mhm.
I ever learned in life was Giant Steps.
Dig that. Mm-hmm.
My old man taught that. That was the first song he taught to me on bass. And
Mm.
he just simply ran me through those two fives.
Mm-hmm.
Do, a, be, do, o, be, do,
Mm-hmm.
e, bo, bo. He just
Mm-hmm.
ran me through that. And he said,
Mm-hmm.
you know those changes, you can walk it at any tempo.
Right, right, right.
You did. So
Yeah.
that from the background vibe of it takes me into my teen years, man. And like after doing that, I just started working with a bunch of folks, man. I mean, it
Right.
was because of the fact that I was John's son and I could, as a youngster, back up what he taught me.
Right. Right. Right.
So I went through the Freddie Washington, Willie Aikens, D. Hines, David Hines,
Oh, David
Floyd,
Hines. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Floyd LaFleur, John Norman, J.D.
Yeah.
Perron, all of the cats that were still around before they went to New York to become the giants they are now. You
Yeah.
know, they
Yeah.
were they taught me. They
Yeah.
taught everything about the business, the music, putting
Mhm.
myself in a good position to get where I've gotten to now.
Right. Right.
As
Right.
time, you know, like I said, Akins was almost like a college professor with you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, he wouldn't talk down to you, but if you didn't do it, you
Mhm.
knew it.
Yeah. You absolutely knew it.
You know,
Yeah. If you
Freddie,
didn't
on
kick.
the other hand, Freddie just assumed that you knew what you were doing, and if you didn't do it, you just didn't work with him again.
Yeah. That's right, too.
You
Yeah.
did.
Freddie was a
You would
man
talk
of
about,
little words. Freddie,
yeah.
Freddie's a man of little words. If you
You
wasn't
got
right, he
that
play it
right,
for you.
man.
And if you didn't catch it,
Shame on
Oscar,
you.
yeah, might not get another chance.
you know, but yeah, long story short, man, all of those cats, and it relates back to what you were saying. We had such a strong uh, root system for a young
Yeah,
musician who was really serious about wanting to do this. Yes,
right, right,
and it just hasn't been the same amount of
right,
usins around here, to put it
right.
colloquially. You know,
I
that
understand.
we
Yeah,
had during that time. We
right.
had like cats who were, I mean, we got history book musicians who taught us barrage, you know?
Absolutely. And here's the other thing. We were also learning, it was such a camaraderie in the city because we weren't just playing jazz.
No,
You know, they had Afro Day in the Park. We were all involved in funk bands, funk
exactly.
rock bands, R&B
Yes,
bands,
yes.
soul bands. We
Ronnie,
played all that, man.
I can't tell you how many blues bands I've played in my lifetime.
You dig it?
Played over at you remember the Quiet Side over on Newstead and Fair?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Played in there. That's the first time I ever played with Johnny Johnson.
Okay.
Yes, that Johnny Johnson.
Yeah, okay.
You dig? Everybody
Yeah.
thinks like all blues. Johnny had some jazz chops, some
Right.
serious good jazz chops.
Right, right, right.
You know,
Well,
Clayton
I mean,
Love is another cat that I played with, blues cat.
right.
You know,
Well, look at brothers like Darrell Darden play
oh,
anything. You know what
anything.
I'm saying? we do a gig with Daryl and anything be happening,
That's right. It would be authentic.
authentic. That's right. That's right. Yeah, man. I mean, but the other thing I have to talk about is that, there were bands. I'm trying to remember. It was a couple of bands I was in. We did the Afro Day in the Park. And cats would be like, they'd be looking at us. But when we come out with some Ohio players or something and kill it, it was
Change
gravy.
that
It
look,
was all
didn't
cool after that, right? It was like,
it?
oh, wait a minute.
You dig?
That's
Yeah,
the thing
that's
I'm
another
talking about.
band. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I mean, you was
That's another
you
thing
were
that
doing.
made.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, you all right? No, that's another thing that made me remember something. Afro Day in the Park. Me and Peter, that's one of the first times that I ever worked with Peter Williams. It was a band called Caution that we were in.
Caution. I remember Caution.
You
Yeah.
dig? You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that was a whole nother thing. I mean, we were doing Earth, Wind, and Fire, Ramsey Lewis stuff. You dig?
Right. Right.
That side of the music
Right. I
vibration.
think
You know.
I think one of the bands I was in when I was really young, I think I was in junior high, the Soul Flamingos. How they come up with a name like that? But but we were killing it. We were working every single week somewhere,
I heard that. You know.
and we're playing like War, Slipping in the Darkness. We were playing Mandrill, boom, boom,
Mhm.
boom, 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 boom. We're playing
And we,
you know what I'm saying? We were,
yeah.
we were hitting, man.
And we
Of
had
course,
other cats, man. We had our brethren, man. You know, bands like 10th Century Band.
Tencent, yeah.
You
Wait, was
dig?
Kelvin in that band?
Constellation. Huh?
Was Kelvin in that band? Was that the band with Eric Foreman?
Ooh, I think,
I think
yeah,
they
I
went
think,
through there at the time.
right. You dig? Did I say
Yeah.
Constellation?
Constellation, right?
Youngblood, Larry
Young
Davis, bass
Blood.
player. Man, Larry
It was
Davis was a monster, Jack.
oh man, it was
I
so
went
many
down to a
bands, man.
rehearsal with them one night, man, and they were the first band in St. Louis, other than like, Little Scrubs that even gave a chance. They were doing Return to Forever stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
dig? Doing Return to
Mm-hmm.
Forever stuff, man. And
Well,
Larry Davis was one hell of a cat. But I mean,
man, it was
back to the point, we were all doing all kind of genres of music, along with whatever I chose and favored was.
right, right, right. Man, I just one of them bands I was in. This we had two singers. It was a brother that played Bill. I can't remember Bill's last name, but he played one of them Ibanez electric acoustic guitars. He
Mm-hmm.
could sing his butt off, soulful. And then the organist we had, who was really the lead singer, Steve, he lived over there off of Euclid. Now, my grandmother lived on Euclid and Fallen, the Barrage grandmother, right? The Mar grandmother you knew down on Euclid and Code Brilliant.
Steve Boy.
No, but Steve Boyd is another bad cat.
Oh yeah.
This no, Steve, no, but this isn't his Steve, and I want to say Comely or something, but that's I'm going way back to junior high. He was more
I
light
can dig.
skinned.
Mm-hmm.
But man, this cat could sing. He had all the Donny Hathaway, Stevie Wonder type, but St. Louis type thing happening on the organ. He played an organ.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he didn't have no Fender Rhodes and then he was rocking the organ while we were doing the war and all those tunes. Man,
I can dig it.
it was pretty deep. Um,
But like you were saying, man, it all relates back to the wide variety of things that we had to be able to tap from to,
right, right, right,
to
right.
put us, like I said, to put us where we are right now, man. And it's an ongoing process.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have to. I want to this special project, man, that I'm doing for the South Arts that I intentionally wrote in the grant to do it in St. Louis because I have to. This thing is going to be wonderful. Kelvin's also on the gig.
Cool.
Uh, Lake is going to be there.
Cool.
Quincy Troop,
Oh man.
J.D. Perrin, Greg Osby, Eric Person. Kevin Batchelor, Lynn Fitmont. It's a dream, brother. And then having you and Richie just like
Yeah,
so.
man.
But I have to I'm in the part now where I'm gonna be. We got to be collecting this footage because I have to
Mm-hmm.
document this also to help me finish my documentary about my life in the music, right? And
Mm-hmm.
man, just I could do a whole segment on the Moose Lounge, Kenny
Tell me
Coos.
about it.
I
Tell me
could do a
about
whole segment on Ben said Thigpen.
it. Oh!
I mean, but I mean,
Figs.
I gotta figure out how to make that happen, man. Because a lot of those venues are gone. But I need to bring that spirit, man, because without that spirit, I would not have been able to play with everybody that I've played with.
It's true.
That's what gave me the structure and the things
Mhm.
that you and I did. We used to just play. We didn't have no band rehearsals. It would just be me and you playing for
Yes.
hours.
Yes.
I mean, hours
Yes.
in my basement.
Yes. I mean, just, rhythms and
Oh
ideas.
man,
And, but see, that kind of thing is what makes you grow, brother. I mean,
yeah,
you got
yeah,
to have somebody. You dig?
yeah.
You and, before we met, I used to do the same thing with Alfred Barnes, either in my house or at his mother's house.
And you and Grice were pretty tight too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and same vibe. But I mean, it's wild, man. It's
Wait,
three
Grice,
out
Kirk was the
three out
drummer.
of my four, huh?
Was it Kirk the drummer in 10th Century?
No, 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 no.
Kirk was in what? I'm sorry to keep you saying the talk, but it just
Stratus,
hit on me.
Stratus.
Stratus, right. Okay. Go back. Come on, bring the talk. All right.
No, hold up. Where do we leave off?
You were talking about what we used to do in the basement, playing and getting the rhythms
Oh,
together, and all those things building us to who we are.
three of three of my four best friends in life have been drummers.
Right.
You dig? You, Kirk, and Alfred.
Right.
We have all shared that same thing that we, just got done talking about. Just the two of us getting together
Right.
and creating strength and
Right.
understanding. How do you play with a cat that plays like each one of you do?
Yeah.
Where, where do you find those little spots where you can, freak around with the rhythms and they'll know that
Right. Yeah.
where one is coming back to?
Right.
And
Yeah.
see, those are the things that you take into playing with other people. Because like
Absolutely.
when you decide you're going to after swing ding 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 gotcha ding gotcha bang,
Mhm.
you got to know where to go back to.
That's right. That's right.
And
That's
learning
right.
and experiencing that with you three cats, man, is where I got a lot of what I do from.
Sure. And you and Sykes, y'all are institution because you
Sykes
know
is just a professor, man.
I remember Sykes. I used to look at Gary Sykes like, damn, that's where Billy Cobham got his shit from.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I
You did,
remember, I remember back in the day. I'm like, boy, this boy played a lot of drums.
man, and it was a few cats around playing double bass, but Sykes was the first cat that I had heard
Yeah.
that really. I think at that particular time, Sykes, Billy, and Ed Shaughnessy.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. That's good. That kind of seemed like what Sykes was going for. I
Eh,
think he was also into Alphonse Mouzon,
Yeah,
you know. But I didn't even mess with better. I didn't mess with the double bass drum until I left New York,
really.
and then I started perfecting it in. I mean, till I left St. Louis when I got to
Hmm.
New York as a teenager.
Hmm.
I started working with it here because I was playing all these different fusion gigs, the Brecker Brothers and Terrell Nakamura and Michael Urbaniak and all that stuff. So I started messing around with it a little bit then.
Don't you use a single pedal double hitter? Isn't that what you use, or did you actually
No, I
start
never
using
had two
two
bass
bass?
drums. Yeah, single pedal, double hitter on one bass drum. Yeah,
Okay.
I did at my crib practicing. I had that,
Mhm.
but the only band I think I toured with doing something like that was with the great bass player Terrell Nakamura.
Okay.
Because I was the second person to get the Time of Superstar kit. They made
Huh?
the Time of Superstar for Billy Cobham,
Uh-huh.
and I was with Terrell when I was 19, and so I got that endorsement. They gave me that set with all them octobans. I never used all them drums. Only time I did was we played at the first time we played at Carnegie Hall, so I had
Oh,
all them drums. But Terrell, he had great players with him, right? I knew Bob Mintzer long before Yellow Jackets because he came through Terrell's band, and he
mm-hmm.
came through subbing for the great Steve Grossman, tenor player.
Dig it.
You know, Randy Brecker was in the band. Michael Brecker did some gigs with us. It was a lot of great players. Harry Whitaker, a great pianist that also played in that band. Harry Whitaker was the design artist basically for M. Tume, Phyllis Hyman, a bunch of different people. You
Dig
know,
it.
he was one of those earlier R&B producers that did a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
He passed away of cancer. But yeah, man. But those were the earlier days. You know, I'm trying to remember. I had an inkling. I just had a vision of something that we did, and it wasn't BB's, but it was another club like BB's.
Okay.
Because we used to pack BB's. You remember when we
Oh,
played there? It was packed all the time. But it was another club that kind of had that kind of rustic thing happening. Um,
was it over by the brewery? Because that's what's the name of that spot, man? Folks that are watching this that know where I'm talking about are gonna hate me because I can't remember, but it's the same kind of eclectic place.
right. It was a different kind of like kind of had a hippie vibe to it. But we played there kind of often too. I just can't remember what it was.
Oh, 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 oh.
It was only a couple spots that we really hit often.
I know, but I'm seeing that spot that you're talking. Man, you know who would probably let me.
Now
Lee
we ain't
Roth
call
would probably
nobody, but we'll get it
Lee
together for
Roth would
part two.
probably know where that place is.
Who?
Lee Roth.
Oh, Lee. Yeah, yeah. He
He
would know.
might
He
know
definitely know.
from just that description of what we're
Yeah,
groping for.
yeah,
He might
yeah.
understand. He might know where that is
Right
because that
now,
was same
now
around
you.
the same time period.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. But I know Mark will know too. So I'm gonna call Mark. So when we do part two, I'll have all that stuff written down.
Check it out. So,
So man,
man,
what are your
ah,
huh?
you didn't see the stereo. So, man, huh? We both did it at the same time.
Oh yeah, yes, yeah, I did. That's why I couldn't hear you because you said it at the same time I did.
Go, my brother.
You know, I we have to also finish this thing for Blew It. So I
Yeah,
got some bites, right? I think I was explaining to you before, talking to you before, and I've
yeah.
already reached out to the baritone saxophonist, young brother Jason Marshall, who is amazing.
That's not the cat who was going to do it with us when we did it in New York a couple of years ago, is it?
He is, yeah,
Same dude?
yeah,
Oh, cool. Well, I
yeah,
like him. I like him.
yeah. He's a monster. He's a
Okay,
monster.
good.
Yeah, and Blue respected him. So I got that on the horizon. You were supposed to let me know if you had the Dropbox access.
Yeah, I've got to upgrade it, but yes, I do.
Okay,
And also, my all your stuff comes through my Gmail really
okay.
smoothly too.
Yeah,
Get
but
it?
that Dropbox had all of the things we were doing for that particular project. So we
Oh,
got to
I
make
still
sure that
got.
that's
I
linked.
downloaded all of that. I got that stuff.
Okay, good. All right. So I got new stuff I'm gonna add that you'll have to download because I've been,
Okay.
you know, I've been Blue has been strong on me this year.
Mm,
Uh, and I that's one of those projects that, you know, I want to do it right. So,
I feel you.
it takes me a minute, but I always come through when I find extra funding uh, and get the support we need because, I'm too old to be doing just frivolously doing stuff. We got to get
I feel
paid and
you.
we got to record it properly. So,
Hmm.
But
Yeah,
I
I
have
would
some.
think that would be the next step is to get it recorded.
Right, right. So we have that live recording, but I don't know if that's got some other circumstances to it. Plus, our brother Donald Smith isn't playing at the moment. So
Yeah,
who was the one of the key elements in that
right.
configuration,
Yeah.
So that's another huge concern I got. Kelvin has stepped in, but I still want that keyboard balance in the
Hmm.
band. So I'm approach Dee Dee Jackson, who worked extensively with Blewett too. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure he'll have eyes for this. So just letting you know, brother, on air, so it's public, because once we put it in the ethos, it's going to come to fruition. You know what I'm saying?
Mix is on your six, baby.
Yeah. So listen, man, you want to run down some dates you got coming up, so we can let people know. You got anything you want to tell folks about, or a regular hit, or anything like that?
We've got a hit coming up this Friday. That
And that's
is
Tracer, right?
Tracer, featuring featuring Kendrick Smith, and
Okay.
also Back to the Future, and they're featuring Tracy Silverman, electric
Oh, okay.
violinist,
Okay.
who is an absolute monster. You dig?
Nice.
And other than that, Pita and I have been doing a lot of stuff. We do the Alpha Brewery on a regular basis. Pita just came up with another gig that I'm gonna, keep on the download for a second. But
Right.
it will be, I'll tell you this, it will be a regular gig every third Saturday of the month at this particular club that we're working to finalize with.
Uh-huh.
And we got another thing coming up with the Bosman twins on May the 5th back at Joe's Cafe, which
Okay.
that'll be advertised over the coming months too. So trying to stay busy and do as much as I can. And a lot of folks that I haven't worked with in a while are starting to call back into the Jones too.
Yeah.
Like twins, man. We haven't had a regular thing where I played in that band for quite a while. But
Yeah.
we're all getting into that zone of like, it's time for us to reunite and create the
Yeah.
music that we started as youngsters together.
Yeah. Well, the Bosmans are family. I mean, we all go back so far, and y'all used to play together quite often. So
All the
that's a
time,
beautiful
man.
thing. That
Yeah.
is a beautiful thing, man. This situation that we're in, it's not gonna last forever.
No,
And we're gonna, the thing is that we're blessed now that we have these opportunities to play and hone our crafts and keep in touch with each other. Um, because this stuff is not a given, man. I'm still grieving about Montez. I mean, and it's just
yeah,
so much, man, that you just cannot take for granted, because you just don't know what's happening out here. The only thing that we got to do is keep moving forward and honing our crafts and our skills and loving each other. You
that's
know,
it.
the there is some dissension amongst some cats that all I could do is pray that God works it out, heals people's hearts. Because we don't have time for any of that, man. We're supposed to be moving forward, united with the united front, especially as artists. We got bigger things to tackle. We got
No kidding.
Spotify, iTunes, and all these people that don't even pay us for our music out here, right? Um, Not to mention the fact that it's hard enough to get gigs, so we need to have each other's backs to be able to work and support our families, right?
It's
It just
true.
it's a lot of stuff we have to continually work to break down in a way that's productive and honest, right? So I'm saying that because I have to say that every day as a prayer, as a mantra. It's like, because people can make you shy away and be angry and be distant, but I'm not that kind of person. I greet problems head on and try to find a solution. So those
I
things are
co-sign
very
that, man.
important. Yeah, those things are very important, man. And in terms of the legacy of St. Louis, we have so many stories, true stories, and such a strong, resilient, artistic quality in the way we play and the other musicians before us play. We need to be dedicating our time to telling those stories, right? I'm sick and
Yeah,
tired of New Orleans. Everybody, oh, New Orleans jazz started in New Orleans, jazz did this, jazz did that. I mean, all of that is true, but at the same time, music was happening in St. Louis. Everything along the Mississippi, there was a blossoming of music. You know what I'm saying? And
yes,
we have the evidence of that from the people that we worked with the stories they told us. We have
exactly.
the evidence of that if we go back and look at the timeline of a Buddy Bolden and a Scott Joplin, right? Scott Joplin was already moving through here and other places playing syncopated rhythms that
Yeah,
wasn't the mindset in New Orleans at that time.
check
You
it
know,
out.
so we need to, and I don't have any problems with talking like this all over the world because I know it to be true fact.
Right,
We have to,
right.
and so what I'm saying as a plea to anybody listening, especially in St. Louis, whatever's going on in our minds, we need to drop them to tell our truth about our legacy. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Um,
Good.
and those of us who have like you and other people that I try to bring on the show that have touched those innovators and those masters and those geniuses of the music all over the world, they're part of us. So
Yeah.
it's the way that our stories should be stifled, and we have to tell the history. We have to tell the truth, and we have to be profound with it.
One of the things that I'm going to be doing over the next few years, man, is actually writing a book.
You need to.
You dig? I'm gonna write a book because, like, harkening back to what you guys got through talking about, the people that I've had a chance to touch. I mean, Cecil Taylor. I mean, actually talk and hang with and experience their vibe. Tony Williams. I
Hmm.
mean, Hammy Blewett, Lake, you, um, and I could just go on name dropping forever, man. But I mean, the fact is, it's like it's more than just playing with these people, listening to them talk
Yeah.
and what they say and the knowledge that they bring, just simply conversing with you,
Hmm.
their field energy, it rubs off on you, man.
It becomes us.
Yes,
You
yes,
know,
yeah.
it becomes us. First of all, we at a young age we were able to be around that energy, right? And at a young age, even before we were dreaming about being around that energy, we were already immersed in it.
Right.
Let's just be real. All my uncles were playing in St. Louis, Rasul,
Yes,
Ahmad, all of them, and they were always somebody at the crib. And if I go back further with my Uncle John, who's from Chicago, to play with Bessie Smith and other people, it was like
yeah,
we were, and your dad and everybody that he intermingled with that came to your crib
right.
and that you were on the set with before you was even walking.
Really.
We
I mean,
already immersed in that energy.
I know more about Gaslight Square than a lot of folks that live there, man, that were
Yeah.
old enough to experience it, man.
See, that's what I'm
Because
talking
every
about.
day, my old man was at rehearsal at one of them clubs until I
Right.
went to grammar school. I'd be right
Right.
there with
Right. See,
you.
that's what I'm talking about. That's why you got to write, brother. Get it down.
Yes,
Tell them
sir.
stories, man, because it's important.
Yeah.
It's important all over this globe. That's what people seem to they fail to realize that whatever little qualms we have, it is squashing our presence in the world. You
Oh, God,
understand?
yeah.
That stuff needs to dissolve, and we need to
Yeah.
figure out what's really going on here, you know.
Exactly.
And the only way to figure it out is to tell these stories. You got youngsters playing, they go to college and they think they learn a little bit about jazz and that's it. But this
Yeah.
music, I'm not just talking about jazz, but music in general, it comes from within, it comes from a spiritual place. more
Mm-hmm.
so than an academic place, So
Yeah.
they also need to have something to get it from. So if
Right.
it's in a text or a video or film, those things have to be authentic, and it has to be out there. Once it's out there, it will get into the proper places. But we
Yeah.
gotta, whatever all the other stuff that's happening, we have to squash it and move forward, especially as black people
Experience
and black artists.
experience is the best teacher, whether you're
Right.
learning it by experience or you're being taught it by
Mhm.
those who have experienced it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
both things have to happen, man. I mean, you in order to grow, you have to be able to have those experiences
Right, right,
and
right,
have
right,
folks
right.
that have had the experiences teach them to you. Keep your ears open, man. That's the only way you can grow.
Now, brother, I know you got one of them beautiful axes that you always showing right next to you. Why don't you pick
How
one
you
of them
know
up?
that, man?
Why don't you pick one of them up and show somebody something and tell us what that beautiful axe is?
All right.
That's
Then you're
right.
gonna have to give a brother like 30 seconds. First off,
Take your
what I'll
time,
do,
man. You got it right there. I know you got. Look. Look at that.
that's
Look
the
at
one
that.
that I mean, and it was just sitting there. I mean, it was sitting there because I had been playing it earlier. But yeah,
And
this
that's
is.
what I know. Yeah. So play something
Let
for
me
us really quickly. Because we're
let me
gonna
see.
end on a musical note.
Now I can amplify this if you want me to.
Go ahead. that's what this is. This is the age of electronics, brother.
Man,
Technology.
look, bro, you ain't said nothing but a word. Hold tight.
Some pretty bass.
Just a
We
second. I
might have a
got.
little latency, but that's okay. It's
Oh
just
man, look here. Look here. Also, experience. Always have exactly what you need where you can set up and smack within a minute and a half. You think
hey, you're getting close, brother.
I'm counting down?
Yeah, Mix, man. It's always nice, man, when we talk and get together, man, because
Well,
we've
see,
never
this is
had
all going
anything but
back through
love.
time, baby. It's that going back through time, all of the stuff we've been talking about, and knowing that it hasn't been counterfeit.
Right.
Everything that we've done, the feelings that we have with each other is real. We ain't
Absolutely.
fronting with each other. You dig?
No.
All right.
Nope. And that's one thing we've always known too, is no time for no half stepping. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Woo! The African. Yeah, baby.
That actually, since we here, that's actually something that I've been working on, Barrage, that I want to drop on you later on in the year. Just
Okay.
a starting thing that I've been working on that I want you to play on.
I'm down, brother. Anytime.
So
Send me
you
the
heard it,
MP3.
world.
Huh?
I said you heard it, world. This is
Oh, yeah,
for
yeah. So
this one is gonna
you
be
got to
for Barrage. Let me
send me
repeat
the
myself.
send me the MP3 and I'll just lay down the tracks. Yeah, baby.
And it's gonna
Hey,
lead into
man.
some other stuff.
Yeah,
Hey, brother,
we're
it's
gonna
been a
do it.
gas, man.
I want to thank you, Darrell. Thank you for giving us your time and yourself and your spirit and your love and your wisdom and your experience and sharing it. Being one of my best partners, my
Back
brother.
at back
I
at you, my
told you,
brother.
man. I can't even remember when our toes got unlinked.
Man, look, if somebody was to ask me where it's the first time that you ever met Ronnie Barrage, don't start me the line. Because shit. What does that matter? I met him. We became partners, and we
That's
still
right.
are. And that's
That's right.
it.
I want to thank Warren for producing City Jazz Sessions. I want to thank Leon for working everything so smoothly. I want to thank Laker Hewitt. And also our other co-host is Al Caldwell. So
Baby,
right,
hey.
baby Al, man. So he's got some shows coming up. We're gonna have some other shows coming up. I have on the agenda for my particular show, um, Lynn Fitmont, J.D. Perrin.
Cool.
Who else I have? Great violinist Eric Delant.
Eric's gonna be on the set too, my brother.
Eric's gonna be on the set. We did
Oh,
we did Kelvin Bell. I'm bringing Butch Thomas in. We did Eric Person. I did Keon Harold. So the list keeps moving. We're gonna have Lyle LaFleur. We're gonna have some wonderful people on here, man. And so
man.
everybody, I'm encouraging you to continue to look out for what we do and tell as many people that you can, because these
Done.
stories are real, they're true, they're from the heart and the soul, and they need to be heard, because
Yes,
the
sir.
people that come through here are incredible artists, scientists, geniuses, and just all around straight up serious human beings.
Mm-hmm.
We live in a world where there's not a lot of human beings left. There's not a lot of human kindness. There's not random acts of kindness, and it's because people are locked up into this capitalist world and this me, and it's about me world.
Yeah.
That's not what this is about here. This is about love and who we are and how we can be stronger together. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I've had Margaret and Quincy Troop here as well. So,
Very,
it's it's when you tune in here, you're gonna be seeing royalty and high class professional people. So keep us tuned. St. Louis City Jazz Session and Mix.
yes, sir.
You know how
Thank you,
much I
my
love
brother.
you, man. I'll
Back
talk to
at
you
you,
in a
Ronnie.
minute.
I love you too, man.
All right.
All right. Thank
Thank
you so much for coming by. We appreciate you. Y'all doing a bang up job. Like and share this so we can grow this mother.
That's right.
City Jazz Sessions is brought to you by St. Louis City Jazz, a 501c3 company dedicated to music education and appreciation. The CEO is Magic Man 50, and for more ways to connect with City Jazz Sessions, visit cityjazzsessions.wixsite.com/St. Louis. The City Jazz Sessions team includes host, content director, and guest coordinator, jazz great Ronnie Barrage. Follow Ronnie at ronniebarrage.biz. Host, website designer, graphic artist, content director, and guest coordinator, singing sensation Leica. Discover more about Leica at leicamusic.com. Additional production services are provided by Lions Den Productions. Go to thelionsdenstl.wixsite.com/home. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe for more great content.